Yeah, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining. So, as per schedule, we're gonna start Azure SQL DBA crash course. This is for 1 month course. Okay, so here we are going to cover Azure SQL DBA as well as migration concept, migration module. It is basically on-premises to cloud, Azure cloud migration concept completely. We are gonna take, real-time use case based migration concepts related to, let's say, exclusive for the migration. Why? Because I'm stressing currently the most of a project that they're going to do the migration, but you would have to know the things of in details of the Azure SQL DBA as well. Okay, post this migration, you are going to work on this, similar kind of things. Okay, so if you could see, this is your on-premises workload. Okay, so let's say you have 2008 R2 is it's already completely not available as per the software lifecycle process from the Microsoft end. You do have 2012, 14, 16 and above servers in the on-premises. If you're laying that, we are just going to do this migration. There would be a three kinds of services available in within the cloud. Okay, so that is Azure SQL and Azure SQL Managed Instance, SQL Server IaaS VM. So most of the customers that they are going to migrate on-premises to cloud PaaS platform. That is more extensively they are going to use Azure SQL Managed Instance because of this is compatible with on-premises 99.99. Okay, so in addition, they are going to give the flexibility or the leverages to use the existing license as well as um, the backup HADR solutions. Okay, so when the other hand, we can see this, Azure SQL. This is typically the 99.95 compatible. What that does mean is basically that is going to referring you the cross queries and DB link services and SQL agent. There is a few limitations over here. Okay, but comparing to Azure SQL MI, which is going to give some little bit of cost um, effective solution. But when you're going to use the different business use case, we'll go for either the Azure SQL or Azure SQL managed instance. And pretty much aware of on premises whatever the thing that we are going to do, the similar kind of approach we are going to work on it. But the deployment, navigation, and all, it is going to different. Okay, so see whatever we are talking about here, the Azure SQL managed instance. So similar kind of approach, if you could see the RDS and EC2 instances kind of thing in AWS cloud. Okay, so we just stick for Azure database related. So the migration process and all that we are going to use like backup restore, using of the DMA, data migration services, replication, and Azure Data Factory, Azure Data Studio, and SSMS also we are going to do. And you do have option called backpack and the DAC pack, and we do have SQL AZ, and by using of managed. So there is a lot of variations, options we have. It's depend upon your a customer agreed to what kind of downtime they agreed, and apart from that, if the migration is using the flexibility of to use based upon your situation and the client dependency and then severity, you can use this one. Whether they go for online migration or offline migration. So this kind of in details in depth we are going to touch base, and we do have some. When you are going to do this, Azure SQL and Azure SQL MI, it's typically will follow the, uh, architecture design kind of thing. I mean to say that what kind of architecture design it is going to follow. Whether you are going to follow a lift and shift migration, and you are going to do this replatforming, or else you are going to do repurchasing, or you are going to do the retire and the retain. So when you are going to work in a project, typically you just need to think about it at this aspect as well. Okay, so just don't think, just taking up the backup and moving off, uh, cloud, that it is going to uh, have option just need to deploy. Okay, so it is not like that. So the simple thing is, a lift and shift you will considering. Okay, so whatever the services and that workload you are running, let's say you are running 2016 Windows version and 2016 SQL Server, so you can take the lift and shift kind of migration, we can deploy into the Azure VM. Okay, and we'll have a replatforming kind of thing. Okay, so replatforming in the sense, just before we talked about Azure SQL managed instance, right? So let's say the client is uh, make some cost optimization to manage the things in the cloud. You don't want to go and do this, backup and high HADR kind of thing. So it means you are running in a source, okay, 2016, okay, that you want to migrate. Okay, so now the platforming in the sense, just you are, taking the your backup solution, backup, and or else you are doing the migration, either of this, any one of the tool, and you are doing migration to this Azure SQL managed instance. So you have host platform here that you are going to that you are going to use for the SQL prospect of this managed service. It means replatforming. Okay, platform in the sense you are underlaying networking, stories, and backup, HADR, compliance, monitoring. Okay, so point in time restore, everything it is going to taken care by considering of replatforming of architecture design. So the other hand, that what we are talking about is repurchasing. Okay, so let's consider about you are running SQL Server, data warehouse server. Okay, within the server you may run OLTP and the OLAP databases. So what we can leverage in the cloud landscape. Okay, so we can use this 2016 server or whatever. Okay, the legacy version that we are going to considering. Okay, so you have OLTP and OLAP database, either in a high availability or standalone server. Okay, that we can able to repurchasing. So you can have the option called an OLAP related. You will have Azure SQL MI, and for the data warehouse house related, you will get concept called Azure SQL Synapse Analytics. Okay, so that kind of flexibility you have, one suit of cloud landscape. So on the other hand, we are in the complete Azure and you will get complete service platform of cloud Azure SQL. Okay, the other hand, the migration concept that you are using retire or the retain. Okay, so few of the application, few of the databases that cannot able to use for the migration purpose. Okay, so that you can able to retain in a on premises itself. Okay, so the use case that we can consider, let's say you have the application in a cloud that it is required to connect your database SQL MI. The other hand, that they need to use for the still 2008 or 2 or 2012, so that we can able to retain here. Okay, that aspect we can able to use. And then the retire is something like you cannot able to adapt cloud. Okay, that we can able to retire. Okay, so there is a multiple ways that doing of platform into the cloud landscape. Those things that you need to consider. Okay, the other hand, that we can able to use the migration phases. We'll have discovery, assessment, migration, and pilot migration, actual migration, cutover, and post migration things. Okay, that we are going to use. And we do have this assessment part that we are going to use the something like map tool, or you'll have an Azure migrate. It is going to give you the flexibility of the discovering. And we do have the data studio, the latest one. It is got integrated with DMS services. Okay, with backend it is going to work as similar as a DMS service, data migration services, but the assessment part which is going to work for data studio. And the best thing is which is going to give the target environment, including the sizing tier as well. Okay, that flexibility you have, and the DM is a assessment tool itself. Okay, so this is a wider range of discussion path to considering of the migration concept. Okay, so we will have online migration, offline migration, and all. Okay, that we are gonna do, and this is all about only for the migration module that we are going to discuss into the actual session. Okay, now let's move on to the TOC. Okay, so that time wanna talk about. Okay, so what exactly you will get? Basically, you will have the complete course related documents, including interview questions and module wise documents, and also the running routes you will get, and the tool that we are going to use part of the migration in a discovery, that the step-by-step guidelines also you will get. That is the first thing that I want to highlight here. And also you will get some daily live recording sessions, complete 30 days live recording session, you will get it done here. Okay, so that is the thing that I want to highlight. The other thing that I'm going to go discuss with you, apart from that migration concept, as I said, okay, so we have complete Azure SQL DBA course curriculum, including the database migration. So this is going to cover indirectly the 90% of the course curriculum. It is related to DP300 and DP050. So it is like DP300 is Azure DBA, and 050 is it's completely migration modules. Okay, that's what it is meant. Now let's move on to this course. Uh, so who can take up this one? Basically, this is like who are already existing experience of 2 to 3 years and working DBAs, MS SQL, MySQL, Oracle, or any other database platform that can easily to crack this one. Okay, so including a real time experience, hands-on you will get, and those who are interested to know switch on their career also, it is going to work for you. To at least you would have to know the little bit of basic command SQL. Okay, that is fair enough to know do the things. Okay, and why I'm saying this, we are going to start very granular level. Okay, so because of initially we would start off basic things of Azure. Okay, so what is cloud computing, and and how does cloud computing got enhanced from hardware to visualization to cloud computing. Now it is advanced level technology that we are heard AI and the chat GTP kind of thing, so that we can do. And within that visualization cloud computing details, we do have modules. Okay, so deployment modules. So deployment modules in the sense, as we said, okay, so Microsoft is having, three service modules here. Okay, that is infrastructure as a service, and the platform as a service, and the software as a service. So this, infrastructure, platform, and the software service related, we are gonna discuss. Okay, this is what it means to how the deployment modules. Okay, so basically this is our traditional method that you are working in a on-premises. Typically, we'll use for networking, storage, visualization, all these things, that 9 layers we are going to taken care of, configuration, administration, all the stars. But when you go for the cloud landscape, okay, that we talked about just before, we do have this platform as a service, which is going to, whether you can call it as database services, or managed service provider, and infrastructure as a service. So what I mean to say, okay, so here whatever you are seeing, okay, this is infrastructure as a service that we are going to talk about Azure SQL VM. Okay, so the other hand that we are seeing here, platform as a service. So within the platform as a service, we have the two offering database services. Okay, so there is a lot more related, data warehouse and development related and all, but we are more exclusively going to cover this Azure SQL MI. So that is what it is meant, platform as a service. So, and software as a service, basically this is we are not into the that much of extensively work at DBAs, but we do have those services, software as a service, like ADF and Office 365, and we do call as Databricks. So these are all the software as a service kind of thing. Okay, so any questions at this moment that you want to ask? All right. So I'm just moving forward. Okay. So the infrastructure as service in the platform as service, the core difference is okay in the infrastructure as service. Okay, since it is in the cloud. Okay, the underlying the hardware, storage, networking component, which is going to maintain and managed by maintain and managed by cloud vendor. Okay, this thing is going to manage by cloud vendor. Okay, so you don't need to bother about. On top of it, okay, so the OS, middleware, runtime, data, and the application you are going to do. So this VM or this service that you may use for the database purpose or else the application purpose or any some automation purpose you can use. But this infrastructure as service, you are going to admin do the admin task like on premises or whatever the task that you are going to performing, backups, maintenance, HADR, okay, patching, failover activities. Okay, so this kind of thing that you need to do overhead of these things. Okay, but now okay, TK, but what is the when we are going to use this one, what is the use case of this infrastructure as service? See, the best way is to adopt this one. Okay, simple and straightforward is, let's say you required solution, um, the database services as well as and the OS level access. Why OS level access? See, within the servers, you may run some, your own application. That is the one thing. The other thing, you may require to do the some customization in the OS level. Okay. And you may require to access the OS level batch jobs. Okay. Some client they may require. Okay. And the biggest advantage of this one, okay, so you are going to use for a only server, but on top of it, you can use your own database software. Okay, let's say most of the customer that they're having their own um, uh, licensing, right? So OS as well as a data SQL SQL application. Okay, that they can able to leverage. Okay, no need to use Microsoft vendor SQL application. Okay, SQL server. Okay, you can use your own software here. Okay, so that what you are going to do, you have the customization of OS level. First thing, the second thing, you will get advantage of your existing license they are going to use. You don't need to pay anything. Only you are going to pay for this underlying hardware. Okay, so that is the most important thing that it is going to happen. Okay, so the other thing, other aspect that you're going to talking about, um, uh, the platform as a service. The platform as a service is basically okay. So you are complete this 6 layers that it is going to manage and maintain by the cloud vendor. Okay, it means you just need to take and dump your data. Means you have an on-premises data. So data you can or take with the backups only for a dump. Okay, you can take the dump and just put it in this platform as a service. So it means the that we talked about uh, 1 minute. We just talked about this. Okay, so just take your database backup dump and keep it here. This is a platform as a service. Okay, so what is the advantage now and what is the real-time use case? Just simulate your real-time use case. Otherwise, there is no sense to discussing the things basically. Okay, so when it is going to use the real-time use case? Just before we talked about patching, failover, HADR, maintenance. So everything it is going to taken care by the cloud vendor. It means your backup solution, your HADR solution, no patchings, let's say the security compliance. Okay, just the customer needs to focus on only the data related. Okay, so here is the data our database we are going to maintain. Okay, so it is under the managed services, end-to-end taken care by the cloud provider. You are not going to do any more here. Okay, and the last one is software as a service. We don't have any that much of services or offerings from the Microsoft end with respect to DBA. So other things we have database related. I want to explore it here. Okay, so hope you understand basically the how it how the cloud landscape is going to leverage. That is the one thing that I want to highlight here. Okay, so mm, all right. Now, uh, coming to this deployment models, I said, see here, infrastructure service is the platform as a service, and the use cases of real-time adoption when you are going to use these things, and the module two, we are going to get started, your complete Azure overview and all. So when you have this is not in a free trial, we are going to do Azure SQL managed instance stuff. So that is required in a pay as you go subscription. We are going to implement everything over here. So the best way to we're going to talk about the services related stack. Okay, so how we can able to take the free trial subscription URL, how we are going to manage the things, and where you can able to see, and that aspect we are going to discuss here. Okay, so let's move on to this one. And so what is Microsoft global infrastructure? So with respect to data centers, regions, availability, that we are going to discuss, and subscription account and subscription models. Okay, you have enterprise subscription, development subscription, retail subscription, student subscription, a lot of subscriptions here. So that also we are going to discuss. Okay, it is an all related, fundamental related. Okay, and management tools. Okay, so in a real time, most of 40 to 50% of task that you are going to perform, okay, in a GUI, the rest of the things that you are going to do command line utility. Okay, so by using of the command line utility also, you're going to deploy your all the services, okay, like Terraform and DevOps related also. Okay, now let's move on to this one, and the SDK and all. You can install this SDK and you can connect your essential terminology. The most thing is the terminology. Okay, so we just referring this, right? So when you are going to discussing this part, typically what it is going to happen. Okay, so you will get subscription. Okay, so the subscription, uh, mm, yeah. So this is your Azure subscription. So if you could see this, this is your Azure subscription or Azure account, whatever you call. And then we'll have will to entering this one, you required a tenant ID. Okay, so it means the tenant ID over here. And then once you are get into this cloud, okay, so you will have the all the services. If you could see this services related, Microsoft nearly 243 services going to offering to this cloud platform. With respect to database, okay, so you could see this completely. Uh, yeah you could see this database related, not only for the SQL, you will have MySQL, Postgres, Cosmos DB, Oracle, everything we have. Okay, so what I'm referring is in this context. Okay, we are going to cover that one as well. Okay, so the terminologies and all, and we'll go on a start, first of all, the mm, uh, first of all, this infrastructure as service, Azure SQL VM. Why? Because that I am going to start. So if you are going to learn the new things, the best way to, best way to digest that one, okay, you just know the things first, okay. Knowing to unknowing the things, that is very interested. Okay, so you pretty much know a little bit of SQL Server deployment, and this is very easy to understand first of all. So slowly we are going to increase the complication of PaaS models as well. So what I mean to say that, okay, um, known to unknown related concept, we are going to do these things. Okay, so now let's move on to. And the other thing that the best practice related, and also we are going to do this modules and all. Okay, so and we do get this complete best practice, what exactly you are going to learn, and module 4 really related to storage and Azure SQL related we are going to talk about. Okay, so the storage and Azure SQL related stuff that completely we are going to cover in details. Why we are going to cover storage related? Because of when we are doing the migration, the storage service is going to play very crucial role, because of when we are going to take the backup, move into the dump. Okay, you can do by using of tool directly, but sometime let's say the terabytes of data that you want to migrate, so the best way to use for the storage account, so that aspect also we are going to cover. Okay, so next is module 5. Okay, so I know Azure SQL with Azure SQL virtual machines. Okay, so the connectivity part also we are going to cover here, how we are going to deploy and how we are going to cover. And this module 5 is security, and where we are going to implement that TD encryption, DDoS, TLS, that security, and authenticating by using of Azure Intra ID. So we have Windows authentication, SQL authentication, that we are going to cover. Uh, Next one is security and connectivity deployment, latest services, how we can able to adapt, and we will have Azure SQL managed instance. Okay, when we are going to deploy, we will have a lot of things, that DTU and the EDTU model that we are going to cover, and cost. Okay, when you are going to give the estimation to the client, basically you will use that um, uh, cost is more crucial role is going to play. Okay, so when you want to migrate, the cost also you need to provide. So here you will have geo replication or failover activity, managed instance related, exploring the backup, how we can able to migrate this thing, that also we are going to cover. Managed instance, and we do have HADR solutions. Okay, so by implementing our migration, and we do have SQL AG implementation for the managed instance that we are going to cover. Okay, so each and every module will get in a best practice related thing, and we do have some complete end-to-end project deliverable things. Okay, so that's it here that I want to talk about. Okay, so if you could see this architecture design of end of the time. So the thing is that let's consider about how we are going to design. Okay, this is for AWS, but we are going to do use for Azure as well. Okay, so let me show that Azure also. Okay, so similar kind of architecture design we are going to do at the end of the time. Okay, so whatever we are referring, okay, let's considering of new project that we are going to deliver and all. Okay, so that is the one thing that I want to highlight here. Mm, yeah. So that's it, my end. If you have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to ask. And second thing is, this is going to start, tomorrow onwards. Okay, so anyone interested to join, and this time is morning. Okay, so 7 a.m. IST, which we can able to join and leverage 1 hour daily session. Okay, 1 month course, and we do have completely 12K fees will be there. You will have the flexibility of paying things to installment. Okay, so first we need to pay off of the amount, rest of the thing we can able to pay after 1 week. That flexibility you have, and 3 days of your 1 week completely you will get refundable option also you will get. Okay, so that if you are not satisfied, if you're not comfortable, you can good to go and back it this option. Okay, so that's it my end. Okay, so do you have any questions? Please let me know, or else we'll wind up today. Okay, then. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, so thanks for your time. So see you tomorrow, the same day. Bye bye.